More gambling arrests going on in Major League Baseball this time. Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz both indicted on federal gambling charges. I mean, if you read some of the reports that are making the rounds, April the 26th, it's 3:16 in the afternoon. Just before he enters the game in the 8th inning, Guardians reliever Emmanuel Clase texts an associate who was sitting in the stands at Progressive Field. Now, they had a 2-minute phone call, despite the fact that Major League Baseball prohibits players from using their phones during games.
Correct.
4 minutes later, a group of bettors won about $11,000 by wagering that a particular pitch by Clase would register at slower than 97.95 miles an hour. And after the game, they all got together and celebrated at the home of Clase. This is just one of many instances of what allegedly took place. Now, the attorney of Luis Ortiz says he's innocent. Didn't do any of this.
Okay. So I think people are sort of blown away by a couple of things. You're brazen enough to make a phone call when you're not supposed to have your phone, as if they weren't going to be able to trace that. $11,000. I just want you to think about this. There's this thing called ROI in the business world. That's return on investment. There's this thing that I will call RVR, risk versus reward. When you read that, $5,000 or $7,000 a pitch, you go, oh my God, you're risking how much money? Like millions in Clase.
That guy struggled in the postseason a couple of years ago. I think this was a direct correlation.
Right.
Because all of a sudden he was that bad. Now, I guess he's been doing it or did do it for 3 years, according to the various reports.
They had him.
His buddies made $400,000 doing it.
Well, let's not just call him buddies.
Faces up to 65 years in prison.
Let's just not call him buddies. I know what it's like to have, maybe your buddy's going to pick up a few thousand. When you read, and this is what's being reported, that you got $5,000 to do this, $5,000 when you make $1 million plus. Your return on investment and risk versus reward is terrible. But that means they had the hooks in you. And I would imagine maybe the playoffs would be a way that you get a hooks into a guy. You go, hey man, I'm clearing $20,000 today. I'll give you $2,000. It's not about the $2,000. It's you're going to do this. You're going to do this. And that's what I am. I don't believe he did this for $5,000 a pitch. I don't. I believe when you have your hooks in somebody, you'll just take what we give you. And we're calling them buddies, as if these were guys he went to high school with. My feeling is it might not be the case, because while there might be a couple of those guys in there, there's probably somebody who's a little bit more nefarious.
You're always going to get caught. My father told me that from the time I could remember. They're going to catch you. You're going to get away with it for a while. Sooner or later, they're going to catch you.
The story is not the $5,000 a pitch. I promise. It's he was in the grasp of somebody, and they said, "Here's." And by the way, we talked about taking a rake in a home poker game, and that's when you're in trouble. He took a rake. Once you take any money, now you've made it worse, because now I hold it over your head that you took money once. What, are you above it now? You're going to tell me what you're going to do. Did you see one of the pitches that was allegedly in play? I think it was Andy Pius, who actually swung at a ball in the dirt, which registered as a strike because it's a strike when it was supposed to be a ball.
He spiked it on purpose, yeah.
Right. And you had a guy swinging it, which means the $11,000, $14,000, $18,000 was lost.
So you had to keep going.
The whole thing is insane. But it goes deeper than just to make $5,000.
Now, let me ask you this. Similar to the NBA situation, how many baseball players are quaking in their boots? Because they can't be the only two that did this.
No. Live betting, man. Live betting. And the fact that they figured out, they were able to what? To go up to the cell towers and figure out this guy used his phone at that moment? Like Pete Rose. He had a landline phone in his office. They found out he was using it. This is many, many, many years later when we have better technology than when Pete Rose was betting on baseball. Yeah, there are a lot of people crapping themselves right now. You're trying to make a buddy $10,000. Hey, man, what's it matter? I'll spike one pitch. Okay?
Apparently it matters.
Good luck.
And now you may be wearing one of those orange jumpsuits for 65 years.